से अपना कहा तू है जहाँ मैं हूँ वहाँ आपको ये जीना तेरे बिन है सजा मिल जाए इस तरह दो लहरें जिस तरह फिर होना जुदा हाँ ये वादा रहा तो सफर मेरा है तो ही मेरी मंजिल तेरे बिना गुजारा है दिल है मुश्किल मुझे आजमाती है तेरी कमी मेरी हर कमी को है तू लाजमी जुनून है मेरा बनूं मैं तेरे काबिल तेरे बिना गुजारा है दिल है मुश्किल आँखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी दिल हो गया संभालो मुझको ओ मेरे यारो संभलना मुश्किल हो गया मैं लुट गया मान के दिल का कहा मैं कहीं का ना रहा क्या कहूँ वो दिलरुबा
All right, welcome. Sorry, I was just in a session. Oh, 111 people, nice. I was just in a session, so I've come running into this session. So I was taking 2-3 minutes to just go from one session to another session. I can see a lot of you have jumped from that session to here. So hello all my TTT ladies who've jumped from one session to another session. So nice to see you here also. Let's see who all are in the room. Hi, Anita, Bossy Women Life Coach, Harshana, Aditi Verma, Harsha, Dobrila, hi again. I just was with you, sweetheart. Love you so much. Benita, Simani, Shraddha, in yellow, you are our sunshine. Thank you. Cosmic Girl, hello Puja ma'am, looking so fresh. Yeah, really, I've been just running. I don't know, I feel like some kajal is spread here. I'm going on rubbing it. Hello ma'am, how to deal with people who criticize us and make us doubtful. Oh, Sridevi's already started the question. Sridevi, I'm coming back to your question right in a moment. I just want to welcome everyone. Was wondering which part of the world you come live today from. No, very much our Chennai only. Here only, so not to worry. Next week I will be logging in from some other part of the world, but that I'll keep as a surprise. Nothing actually, honestly speaking, today was my master health checkup. That's what I was busy with. Puneet and I on a yearly basis have a rule of going for a master health checkup, but because of COVID, we had stopped doing that. So the last 2 years we haven't done it. Today was our coming back to that routine. I highly recommend it to everybody. Why wait for something to show up? Why not just go do a master health checkup? It leaves you so much more peaceful. So it's something I'd encourage all of you to do. We go to Apollo, but I know all of these different labs have different packages. Just do a basic package. You don't need to go and do extra tests. But just generally, I think every year forming a habit of, or every 6 months for some people, and for some people every year, forming the habit of keeping track of your health is a great thing to do. So recommending that to all of you here. For those of you who don't have this practice, see how you can at least go and meet your general physician once in 6 months. Just generally keep in touch. Don't wait for bad news. Yeah? Lovely. All right, let's see what was question. Sridevi's first question. Hello ma'am, how to deal with people who criticize us and make us doubt? Sridevi, the most important thing we have to understand on this journey is that every single person is going to project onto us what they think is best for us. So people who are criticizing us or making us feel doubtful of our own journey, if they were you, maybe that's how their life would have showed up. Right? So they are only reflecting to you who they would be if they were you. Once you understand that, then you don't have to worry too much about them, because the more power we give them, the lesser we will end up believing in ourselves. We have to understand that no one can see our vision. Only we can see our vision. When I became a life coach in 2010, I had people saying, but why will people come to you? And, don't, in India, these things don't work. Or, why are you going on doing so many courses? Or why are you spending so much money on learning? Every single person was speaking what they had seen in their life. They had not seen anyone else spend like this on courses. I didn't have a college degree, so they couldn't understand why was I not going for mainstream education but going for this. So doubt in theirs, or having that fear for me, or criticizing me, all of it, I took it in my stride, because I believed in my heart that, whatever they have to say, they may be right for themselves, but they are not right for me. I know what I'm doing, and I know the journey I want to be on, and I can see where I'm headed. I know 5, 7, 10 years from now, when this industry will start to pick up and people will start to want an objective viewpoint on their life, not just by Masi Chachi Taijis, then people like us will become really, really important. So, to the same thing I'm going to tell you, when people criticize you, maybe they are jealous. Maybe they are not capable. Maybe they are, maybe your value system is not aligned with them. When I started working, I had so many mothers who used to tell me, but your children are too small. Don't you think you need to attend to them right now? And I used to always have that same answer, that if I am not happy, what kind of mother will I be? So I would rather spend 30 days working on myself, so that the balance 300 days or 65 days working on myself, so the balance 300 days, I'm a better mother. So like that, I started to create story where it wasn't about me hating them back, but me knowing my own power, me knowing my own journey, me knowing and having that confidence that it doesn't matter how they judge me today. 1 year from now, these will be the same people who will be applauding me. And I can tell you, Sridevi, that happened. I had people, the same people who were first having so much doubt on what I was doing, today say, you know what, Puja, I'm so proud that you proved me wrong. I've had people even come up and say that to me, that, you've literally proved us wrong and we couldn't be more happy for you. So, Sridevi, one thing only, sweetheart, your journey is your journey. What other people have to say, they will say. We cannot stop them. Maybe their intentions are also good. We don't even know that. But we know only one thing, that if God has given you a dream to walk the path, do not betray God in the process of pleasing the people around you. For some time, be selfish to eventually be selfless. God bless you. Alright, Puja Ramesh, whenever I hear someone's problem, I get emotional and I give them solutions, but when people are happy, they don't even remember me. I feel I'm used. All I need is people's care, but they don't care for me, and so I feel so empty. So Puja, a few things here. First thing is, whenever you are helping people, if you're helping them with the intention that they should also help you back when you need them, then honestly, that's not help, that's business. Okay, that's a barter. So whenever you're helping people, know that those that you help, you will help. And whenever in life you will need help, there will be other people who will show up to help you. Don't expect it to be an exchange. Rather know that you are putting good karma out in the world, and that good karma will return back to you through other people. And those people may be people that you may not be able to be available to them when they need you. And that's okay. So owning the fact that people that we help may not be the same people that we may get helped by is a very important understanding that we have to have of life. For me, I know that the mentors I've had, I can never give back to them at the level that they have given me. And I know there are people I have helped who will never be able to give me back in return what I have done for them. And that's okay. And once you start to create this distinction, you will not feel so bad. And you know what? Then you will start to await that, okay, God, I helped this person, I've created good karma. Now there is a debt in the world where I'm being owed. So send the right people who can now help me, support me. As far as feeling empty is concerned, I always say this, that as you start to help others, your emptiness starts to get filled up. Your self-esteem starts to go up. You cannot raise someone's self-esteem and not have yours raised. until and unless you put an expectation bigger on them than what you even gave them. So change your expectations, my sweetheart, and you will watch your emptiness go away. I'm not saying don't have expectations, have it. But if they don't get met, learn to deal with the disappointment of that. Yeah? Because you know what? This whole, the words you've chosen, all I need is people to care, but they don't care. Not true. It's not true. It's just that they don't care the way you care. They care differently. I remember once Sister Shivani was speaking this, that, there was this lady who made a lot of food when people were coming over to her house. She put 12 dishes on the table. And then what had happened was that when she went over to their house, they had only 2 dishes on the table. And she said, that is such an insult, because when I had, when they came to my house, I had put 12 dishes on the table. Now, what had actually happened was that this lady was very good at cooking. But whose house she went to eventually, she was not good at cooking. When this lady had come to her house, who had made the 12 dishes, she had brought this beautiful cake stand for her. But when she went to her house, she did not even take a gift. For some people, gifts shows care. For some people, creating more dishes show care. So when you say that they don't care, the real truth is they don't care in the same way or in the same things as you. But you start to notice that they do care in other ways, you will start to find a lot of evidence there, my sweetheart. We tend to think that people have to care for us the way we care for them. That match is very difficult to find. Which is why a lot of husband and wife say this to each other, but you don't love me, but you don't care for me. Actually, deep down, they know that he cares, but he just doesn't care in the same manner or the same formula as you. I really hope somewhere this goes inside and you never feel empty again, because when you have such a beautiful heart, you should know that the world is only going to be more and more beautiful for you if you start to expect it. At the end of our day, it is our expectations that make our life. So if you are expecting no care, anger, emotionally, people not being available, you will find that. You start to tell yourself, so what if people don't know how to love me my way, but they know how to love me their way and I can appreciate that. And you start to go on that journey, you will find so much of that. So love you, sweetheart. God bless you. Please never feel alone again. Megha Kapoor, this reminds me of your session on love languages. Absolutely, Megha, bang on. How to love yourself consciously. How to get rid of self-sabotage and negative self-talk. Devika, if you are a part of my tribe already, I would love for you to go and watch my resistance speech. I do it in all the summits. I do it in my masterclass. It's a 15 minutes conversation that I have on this enemy that lives inside of us. So when you say love yourself consciously, for me, loving yourself consciously is actually just learning to prioritize yourself and keeping the promises you make to yourself. A lot of us are very good at the promises we make to others, but we forget that there is this soul or spirit that lives inside of us, and we need to build trust with that. So when you say you're going to wake up in the morning, wake up in the morning. If you say this week I'm going to sleep without my phone near my bed, do that. If you say this week I'm going to eat my vitamins, do that. Whatever promises you make to yourself, if you keep them, your ability to fall in love with yourself will be so much superior. A lot of us think self-love is massages and salons and pampering ourselves and skincare. Yes, all of that is great self-love. But to me, the highest self-love is when you start to honor the spirit that lives within. That when you make a promise to yourself, you keep that promise. And as you grow, your conscious and subconscious together grows in trust. I can assure you, who you become as a person is super duper evolved. How to get rid of self-sabotage and negative self-talk? Every single day do affirmations and visualization. Affirmation is the conversation you say to yourself to beat all of this self-sabotage. So if your self-sabotage says you'll never be able to do it, every morning can you wake up and say, I have the courage and the capability to be able to do this project. You say this every day, every day, every day. Maybe day 1, day 2, day 3 will feel fake. By day 4, there will be a shift. By day 21, you will start to believe what you are saying. You know, they say even if we stress on the lies for too long, our mind actually at some point forgets what is the lie and what was the truth, because that gets cemented into our neuron pathways. So you want to start to say more positive, more affirming, more things to yourself that give you strength and courage. Okay, and that will definitely help you settle your negative self-talk. Jai Lakshmi, ma'am, my close one falls sick and I couldn't control or divert my thoughts. I could not eat and my gut feeling is feeling very frightened. I couldn't come out. Jai Lakshmi, if you truly want to evolve, these are the things I'd love for you to start to say or think. What is in your control, please worry about. What is not in control, build so much faith and surrender in your own God that you should be able to trust Him. Whenever we worry about things that are not in our control, for example, anybody falling sick, now you can take them to the doctor, you can give them medicine. So these are the things you should be worried about, because you can do something about it. But if we worry about the things that are not in control, then we are trying to be God, and there is no replacing that. So I always, whenever I have a situation, I always make a list of what is it that I can control, what is it that I need to pray for. And I distinguish those lists very clearly, because otherwise we can keep on worrying or getting anxious about what is not in our control, and that doesn't help anybody, not you, not the person who's suffering. So whatever is in my control, I will do my best in. 10 on 10 I will get. And whatever is not in my control, I know when I will do a 10 on 10 on that, in what is in my control, then my God will match it. My God will also do a 10 on 10 with me or for me. Recently only I was having an event on the 19th of April and we were in London and a lot of our friends got COVID there. If Puneet would have got COVID, I couldn't have kept the event. If I would have got COVID, I couldn't have kept the event. Now I started to worry a little bit because there were hundreds of ladies coming, their flights done, their tickets done, their stay done, they had to like manage their whole families. And here I was like, what if? But I knew that my what if is not going to help. Any sort of worry of mine is not going to help this situation. So I just left it to God and I said, God, you know best. If any one of us gets COVID, I will just announce that yes, we've gotten it. I'm so sorry, we have to cancel the event or postpone the event. By the grace of God, none of that happened, and I can happily say that today. But I can tell you, I don't think even for more than 5 minutes I worried. You know why? Because I knew it's not for me to worry. If it has to happen, it will happen, and I will have to do whatever it takes. So Jai Lakshmi, if you can start to build that kind of faith in your God, that whatever He will do, firstly, He won't do wrong. And if He does do something to you that was not suiting you or was not according to your expectation, then just know that He knows better. If He needed you to go through something, then we must accept it. Yes? So Jai Lakshmi, see if you can start to differentiate these two things, darling. And the lesser you worry about the things that are in His control and the more faith and surrender you will build in your personality, the stronger you will become and the better you will do on the things that actually matter, which you have control over. Yeah? Manvi, ma'am, if our parents scold us without our mistake, how to deal with it? Manvi, any sort of injustice actually makes our spirit rebel. So any sort of injustice. So anytime we get scolded for something that is not fair, at that point you allow it to pass, because they may be angry or they may not be emotionally in their most stable mind. Yeah. But later on you can pick it up with them and say, you know what, it was very unfair. I felt hurt. I've had times when my children have come up to me and told me in hindsight that, Mom, that day you were not available to me, or that day you couldn't pick up my phone. I know you were busy, but I needed you. And the only thing I have done is apologize. Now, I don't know what setup you have with your parents and what kind of parents are they. If they are old school, of course, they're not going to apologize. But communicating is key in a family. So if you can just communicate back to them and release it from yourself that, yes, maybe what you were saying was right, but the way you were saying it was not right, or you accused me of something that I did not do. Just letting them know, even if they don't accept, is good enough for now. Okay? So see if you can start to let it pass. At the time when they are angry, don't fight back. Because they are going to win, because in hierarchy, they are higher. okay? But later on, when they are more calm and you are more calm, at that point, if you start to have your deep conversations, you will see a huge shift in your relationship with your parents. Shamika, ma'am, how do we deal with people who are very, very negative, but they were your friends at some point of time? I can even ignore, but I don't want that energy. How do I deal with such situations? Shamika, there's a beautiful video by Mahatria on the story of the dragonfly. I'll try my best to share it in my story page, the video or the link somewhere. I'll share it in my Instagram. If you just Google it, it will show up. It's a 10 minutes video, Mahatria, story of the dragonfly. If you type these two words, it will show up, okay? And just go watch it, because really it tells you that as you evolve, what happens with us and our friends. And how when our energies remain positive, but our friends no longer are at the same level, either they will go away from our life or they will have to change to be a part of our life. They won't be able to, with their negativity, stay connected with us, and that's totally okay. Now, you've even said, I can even ignore, but I don't want that energy. How do I deal with it, such situations? Shamika, all of us have to know that family, like imagine life like a train, and all family goes with us till the end, but friends get in and get out at different stations. And if a friend's energy is not connected anymore, keeping them in our life will only make it more toxic, or later on we will only regret why we suffered in their hands. So I would love for you to let go. Now, whether you need to ignore, or you need to communicate, or you need to let them know, or you need to find new friends, there are 100 solutions. But the first thing you have to decide is, do you want them in your life or do you not want them in your life? Once you decide you want them, that means you need to confront them, speak to them about what it is they are doing, and if they listen, only then they get to stay. If you decide you don't want them in your life, then what would be the easiest, sweetest, nicest way to start to move away is a plan you will need to make. Yeah. But please know that as we evolve, it's very hard for us to keep the same circle of friends. While we can be in touch with them now and then, if you want to be in touch with them often, then they need to be vibrating or having the same frequency as you. That's very, very important. We become the average of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. So you want to be, I was just noticing the other day that 2-3 of my friends, we had gone to Ireland together, and they didn't have nail polish on. And the entire trip, I didn't have nail polish on. And 23 years, I don't think I've had a single day where I didn't have nail polish on. And imagine on a trip of 50 people, I didn't have nail polish on. We become the average of the 5 people we spend most time with, right? And while they are beautiful people as far as personalities are concerned, they didn't really care about nail polish. But I care about nail polish, and I stopped caring about nail polish because they didn't care. I'm just giving you a very small example. This is such a small example, but know that there is influence happening even at that level. So imagine in personality, in frequency, at every level, people you hang out with, you eventually become them. So you want to become super choosy, super careful about who you hang out with. For me, I am super perceptive to energy. And if I'm surrounded by negative people, I feel drained at the end of it. And not just me, I know a lot of you now, because you're evolving at such a fast speed, you will feel with some people you'll come away not knowing why you're feeling so cheerful. And with some people you'll come away not knowing what's happened, but you're irritated, frustrated, feeling kitch inside. But just know energies are super contagious. Shruti R. Patel, ma'am, I'm attached to a person, but due to strong reason which I don't know, he's ignoring me continuously. Can you help me how to overcome this? Shruti, there's a whole book called He's Just Not That Into You. Okay? So just want you to know that for most people, when they move on, one of the things they don't have is the courage to let you know that they've moved on. So they keep you hanging till you realize, or till your self-esteem starts to go, how dare someone treat me like this, right? So Shruti, I don't know if I can really help you on how to get his attention, But I do believe that instead of playing all of these games, if you can confront him and ask him, and if his answer is not convincing, then you have to at some point say enough is enough. It's time for me to move on. You know, I have a feeling that a lot of us are taking our relationships longer than what they needed to be. So if this is one of those relationships, for me, I love the person, but his inability to love me back becomes my reason why I will not love him. So I can love someone tremendously and totally be wanting that relationship. But if I ever come to know that they don't have the same energy towards me, I am an option while he's a priority, then I rethink that you know what, if that's not who I choose to be in someone's life, and therefore I can love them from a distance, but I need to release them. And this is with my girlfriends, this is with guy friends, this is with anybody. If I'm not going to get that mutual respect that I know I deserve, then I will come up with ways to move on, maybe find new friends or maybe have a conversation, whatever it takes. Maybe I'll give him 3 more chances and then close the topic. Whatever it takes. The only thing I won't do is allow the other person to damage me to a level where I accept anything and everything to be a part of their life. And which is what a lot of us do. You know, the person's called and said, okay, let's meet day after. I'm completely ready to meet, and they're calling me and saying, hey, last minute some other plan has come up. Sorry, I can't meet you today. And they dump you. And you go, oh, doesn't matter, you know, he got busy, his work is like this, and you start to make excuses for him. You want to be really careful when that starts to happen, then you know you are in the danger zone. So Shruti, owning your own self-esteem, your own dignity, and realizing, the faster you realize that this person is just not that into you, the better, and then work on your healing rather than on getting him back. Carry_15. How to overcome fear. Face family, to speak, ask on what you sometimes even fear, to live life. Carrie, again, I'm going to say this for all of you here who haven't attended my masterclass, please come for it. It's happening on the 9th of May, where I actually spent 15-20 minutes just explaining how resistance works, how fear works, okay? The job of our mind is basically to protect us, to make meaning out of things, and then to make sure that that meaning is right. We always want to be right. So first job of the mind is to protect us, which means anytime we see any sort of danger, it wants to protect us. Now earlier we used to live in caves, right? So there was danger everywhere. Animals were danger, nature was danger. Today we don't live in that kind of world, but yet the fear within us belongs to that world. So please know that anytime we will step outside our comfort zone, fear is going to show up. I always say, doubt auntie sit on one shoulder of mine, fear auntie sits on one shoulder, and they keep on whispering things into my ears to scare me from whatever it is I want to do to get out of my comfort zone. So just know that fear is a part of life. Nobody became successful without carrying their fears with them. You can put them in the back seat, doubt auntie and fear auntie, and drive along, because they are never going to leave you. You will beat one fear, a new fear will show up. You know, we have fear of failure. We also have fear of success. What if I don't remain humble? What if I'm not able to handle the money? What if people around me change when I become very rich? So we have fear of failure. We also have fear of success. So fear never ends. So we have to learn to carry it with us. How do we do that? By every single day reducing its size by giving a new story in our head. So whatever fear is saying, check, is that even true? Is there anyone else in the world who's been able to do it while they've had this fear? Yes. Like for example, my mentor, Marie Folio, she pukes when she launches any program. She knows that her fear shows up in her body and she'll have migraines, she'll have health issues. Now she knows that. So she's pre-prepared that the week before her launch, all of it is going to happen. There's nothing she can do about it. She has to deal with it and cross through. How beautiful. For most of us, we think, oh, what if it's a God's sign that we shouldn't be doing this? Not at all. It's not God's sign. It's God's test. So before we do anything, remember there will be a dip where God will test you and all of your fears will show up. And that's the time for you to rise in your aura, rise in your energy and say that, you know what, so what, you come along, but because of you, I'm not stopping. Fear is our way of checking. It's a good thing. Sometimes it's feedback that maybe there's something. What if I forget on stage? having that fear, I will prepare so much better because I know that I have that fear. So our fear helps us prepare better. Our fear helps us in seeing situations in the worst case scenario so that we can be prepared for them, right? So see if you can start to use your fear to your advantage rather than disadvantage. See if you can make fear your friend. See if you can stop taking your fear so seriously. Now for me, when the fear comes up, you know what I tell it? I say, you know what? I'll handle it. If my technology goes off, I'll handle it. If my internet goes off, I'll handle it. I've learned to say I'll handle it to my fear because otherwise my fear goes on and on and on. I finish with one thing, it starts with another. I finish with one thing. The only thing I want you to take away from all of this is fear is not going anywhere. So don't allow it to stop you. Yes, Carrie? Shraddha, how to make my 7-year-old realize that he has already watched TV for half an hour and time is up. He doesn't leave till the time I don't tell him and when I'm not around, then there is no time limit. Shraddha, he is 7 years old and you're having this expectation. Can I tell you, I have men and women coming to me at 30, 40, 50, 60 who can't do things where they own themselves know what is right and what is wrong. I want you to ask yourself, Shraddha, is there anything in your life that you know? You had said that you're going to get up and do dash, but you're procrastinating that. Maybe you read a book for too long. Maybe you were on Instagram scrolling for too long. Maybe you started some Netflix serial and you binge watched it. All of us adults itself don't have that kind of willpower. You're expecting it from a 7-year-old. Now, what is the way to go about it? Instead of leaving it to him, can you create choices and consequences so that he can then make a better decision? Like for my children, if they wouldn't leave video game and they played beyond 12 at night, of course they were pretty grown up, 10th, 11th, 12th I'm talking about. Then I used to tell them, if you cross 12 o'clock at night, you make that decision, but the next day you have to give in your remote control for 24 hours. So you know what they learned? They learned that they are responsible for their own life, that they have to learn to make their own decisions, but every decision comes with a choice or a consequence. Consequence was that they wouldn't get to play the following 24 hours, and that was a big consequence for them at that point. Choices can be rewards that you can create. So if you get up, let's say your 7-year-old, you tell him that every time you get up, next time when you're watching, you won't get 30 minutes, you'll get 45 minutes. So if you get up on time, you get to watch 45 minutes. If you get up late, then you get to watch for 30 minutes. And you can create rewards and consequences. But to have the expectation that they should be self-motivated to leave what they love, to do things that you love, it's too much of an expectation, I think, from a 7-year-old. Yeah? For all of us here, we have to start to think that we are all humans at the end of the day. Having our weaknesses is a part of who we are, and when we judge our children for their weaknesses, we make them feel wrong. There is nothing wrong in this. This is how human was built. Whatever we enjoy, we love to do more of. Whatever is painful, we don't want to do. Right? So for a lot of us, because our life is set up in a manner where studying is not fun, that is painful, we don't want to do it. TV, all kind of entertainment is fun, so we want to do it. So you want to start to really manage that, yeah? So God bless your baby. Megha, I'm following your sessions on commitment. Honor what you say. Love that, Megha. That in itself to me is one of the number one things you can do in your life as far as, evolving as a human being. Still, it will take much time to change my opinion regarding different situations. Definitely, NSS. In life, we are growing every step. With every step, another step opens up. So if it's going to take you time, please allow for it to take you time. Some of us have light bulb moments and we can learn from other people's experiences. Some of us have to go through our own experiences to learn, and both is okay. Doll up with Divya. Please tell me how to say no to my mother-in-law. She's so selfish and she's the reason of my stress. What to do? So Divya, one of the things we have to understand is that in the hierarchy of the patriarchal system, the mother-in-law is above the daughter-in-law, and therefore she has a lot more control over us. When you are married, especially in the beginning, the first couple of years, the first 5 years, she tends to have a lot more control. Over time, as we start to have our children, the control reduces. I don't know at which point you are in your life, but let's say you are still right now in the beginning first 5 years of your marriage, it is a little hard for you to say no. One of the things I love doing is including my husband in this conversation, that we together, how can we manage your mother in the best manner? I'm not against her. I want to make sure she's, like you're saying, that she may be selfish, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be in a house where everyone else hates you because of the person you have become. So in the beginning, giving is a good idea, so that in the end you can start to set boundaries. Start to set boundaries slowly and sweetly. The most important thing is to be firm but polite. Okay, firm but polite. So what you cannot do, I remember there was a time in my relationship with my mother-in-law where she used to love for me to come for all the weddings and all the parties, and everywhere she would be going, she would want me to come along. And for some time I did, and then after a while I started to feel like, no, I don't want to do this anymore, but I didn't want to hurt her. Right? So then I started to say, okay, I have 2 other sister-in-laws. So we started to divide our time. Okay, today you go, today I'll go, today she'll go. And it worked out so beautifully. All I needed to do was ask. Because I asked, they gave it. Till the time I had not asked, I was building bitterness and resentful, and all of those emotions were coming up. So you want to see who can you take help from. There must be someone in your environment that you can take help from. See who you can take help from. The best thing to do is to not hurt her, yet set boundaries, and know that, you know what, till the time your intention is good, even if she gets hurt on that day, eventually she will understand. Yeah? If you haven't attended my boundary setting class, I would highly recommend. It's one of the bonuses when you join Coaching Mastery. I take you through a step-by-step process of how to speak to the mother-in-law so that you can create a relationship where she starts to understand you and you start to understand her. Yeah? Suman Jadhav, when I'm alone with my mom-in-law, she talks so lovely, but whenever her sisters come home, she just ignores me and insults me as if I'm no one to her. Suman, now that you know that, you can deal with it in different manners. One is when her sisters are around, you can back off. Just don't be so around. Maybe she wants to spend exclusive time with her sisters. Her sisters is where she feels most comfortable. And that's how she is. The second thing you can do is actually address it. So when they leave, when her sisters leave, if you can sit her down and say, Mom, I don't know, you're normally so amazing, but every time your sisters come, I feel like you become very negative towards me. Is there anything that I'm doing that may be hurting you, or you want me to be different in front of them? What can I do? Sometimes, you know what, the sister, your mother-in-law may want to show her power over you to her sisters. Now, there are better ways that she can do it. If you both collaborate and do it, rather than she trying to show it to her sisters by being nasty to you, So you want to understand, why does she do what she does? If you can get into the psychology of that, maybe you'll be able to deal with this whole thing better, knowing that it's not you, but her and her equation with her sisters that is requiring her to behave in this manner. If you can somehow help her show the same point to her sisters, I always tell my husband that when you come into my family, be nice to me, because that's what they will appreciate. When I come into your family, I should be nice to you. You should look like authority in your family. I should look like authority in my family. That's a better equation. So if your mother-in-law is doing that, she's just trying to show that her sisters, her authority over you. Maybe, I'm just guessing all of this, but see if it makes sense to you. And if it makes sense to you, if you can come up with a plan where she can show her authority without being rude to you, that will be so much better. Vedida Bhumika. Ma'am, my best friend does not trust me. She can't talk to me or call me. I call her for some time. What can I do? Bhumika, any relationship without trust is not a relationship at all, according to me. So building this trust back is very important, and trust building happens through open and honest communication. So I would highly recommend that you start to ask her, what is it that has broken our trust? It wasn't like this when it started, but lately I see you don't tend to share anything with me. Is there anything I have done? And for some time, you may have to have some very uncomfortable conversations where when she speaks her truth, you may get even more hurt. But you know what? There is no way by. You have to go through. So when you have to go through, you have to feel the feeling, hear what she has to say, accept some of it wherever you were wrong, tell her about the places where she has misunderstood some situation, and clear all of that, because a friendship without trust is no friendship at all, my sweetheart. Puja Chaudhary, how to deal with people who just give those negative vibes, even though it may not be intentional on their side, but I can just feel my energy going down naturally when I'm around them. Puja, very important is to protect your own energy. One of the things I teach is called the waterfall, the water fountain meditation, which is you close your eyes and you imagine a beautiful water fountain. Anytime you know you're going to be around these negative people or the negative energy people, just put on your water fountain. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine yourself surrounded by this beautiful, gorgeous water fountain, which basically protects you from their energies. Then their energies won't be able to reach you. When you come home, just blink your eyes and drop that water fountain, okay? You don't want to be sitting in that water fountain all the time, because then even the love of some of the people won't reach you. So you want to receive love, so you want to remain authentic, you want to remain vulnerable. When you have your water fountain up, it's like you have your armor. So when you have your armor up, there's no way people can reach your heart. So some days when you need overprotection, put on the water fountain and go out in the world knowing no one's energy is going to impact you. Okay? As far as negative energy and negative vibe is concerned, 90% of the world is negative. Only 10% of the world is positive. So the only thing I want you to do when you see a negative person is bless them and celebrate yourself. Bless them for, you know what? They have such a bad life that they are emitting all of that negativity, right? Wish they knew better, they would do better, but unfortunately they don't know any better. They are still being victim, blaming, complaining, and they're going to maybe spend their whole life being and doing that. Well, if that's what their journey is, we should just bless them. So bless negative people and celebrate yourself that you are in that 10%. How lucky are you that you don't belong to that category? So every time you see a negative person, it should be a reminder to you that you are not that. How lucky are you? Rather than getting irritated or angry or frustrated in case that happens. Yeah? Neha Pari, I am feeling low energy for so many days. I've even got checked from the doctors. I have no issues at all. How to have energy? Why am I so low? Neha, if you've already checked with the doctors and it's nothing chemical, then it's your mindset. A lot of times, or what has happened, the depression rate in the world is at its highest ever. Divorce rate in the world is at its highest ever. COVID as an energy has gone through this whole world and reduced the energy of the whole world. So what you are experiencing, especially if you are a sensitive person, you will pick up this low energy of the world and make it yours. Learning to overcome the energy of the world, you will have to do some routines and rituals that help you. For example, waking up in the morning, meditation, doing your gratitude every day, affirmations and visualization, reading positive things, exercising, all of these things will help you recover from your low energy. What I would love for you to do, Neha Pari, is that I'd love for you to take responsibility of your energy. Do not think that something from outside needs to come and fix it. I want you to start to think that you are responsible for your own energy and you are the one who has to fix it. You know, anytime in my life I feel unhappy, I always say this, that okay, it's my job to make myself happy. No one else's. I am responsible for my own happiness. I want you to start to say, I am responsible for my own energy. And then do whatever it takes. Maybe listening to music will cheer you up. Maybe going for a long drive will cheer you up. Maybe doing your gratitude will cheer you up. Maybe spending time with people you love will cheer you up. Look for things and people that cheer you up and then do those things and watch your energy change. Even if then your energy is not changing, then I will highly recommend you go to a psychiatrist who will help you with some sort of medication, because sometimes it's a chemical locha. For example, for me, 2 days before my periods, I have a very different energy. Okay, I just turn into what I call my goddess Kali, tends to come out a lot more. Either I get angry or I get cranky. Both are not good. But now that I know that it happens to me, instead of trying to fix it, I just let it pass. I just go, you know what, the next 2 days, everybody please stay away because I'm in that mood or mode. So just be careful from me. And I warn everybody, and I try to stay as much as I can with myself and fix it to whatever level I can. But sometimes I don't even try. I just let it pass. Till the time it doesn't create any damage, I'm okay with it just passing. Okay, Neha? So see if you can find the trigger of what is making you feel low, and if there's nothing, then work on it with your natural capacity. And if that also doesn't help, then go to a doctor who can actually help you with some sort of medication or some sort of exercises. Yeah? Oh, we're already at 4:47. Let me read out the winners from last time. All right, the people who participated last week was Innovative Tarot by Trupti. Congratulations for participating. Puja Ramesh Punjab. Congratulations. Anita Gupta.official. Shamanjeet_K Mindset Motion NLP. Gauri 1812. Gargi Arya 2007. Vasudha Madan. Shipa Dandich 1, Aditi Ashish Kumar, Charisma Rebuild Your Image, and Vashi Puja. Massive round of applause for all of these participants. And the winners of last week are Rashmi Ravi 2008. Super congratulations. We will be writing into you for you to receive my book. Anshu Chop Dekar, congratulations to you too. And Zehra Ali 178. If you are by any chance a part of today's program and I've just read out your name, a massive, massive congratulations to each one of you here, and especially to Rashmi, Anshu and Zera. Woohoo! So nice to see. Oh, she's very much here. Rashmi is very much here. Lovely. Awesome. Okay, now for today's challenge, you know what it is. Quickly take a picture and then post it in your story and write 1, 2 or 3 takeaways of what you learned from today's session. In a moment, I'm going to pause, so let's get ready. Yes? Quickly, so I can take a few more questions, yeah? Alright, I hope you got your picture. Now all you need to do is post it in your story. We are collecting all the names of every single one of you here who's participating in any manner. If I'm reading out your name, whether you are a recipient of a book or you are in any other way winning these challenges, we are collecting all these names, and I can assure you in the next 3 months at some point you're going to receive massive good news from us, for something or the other will come to you in a way of a gift. So bless you all. Madhu Flair is saying, but my name was not announced. Madhu, did you put it in your stories? I will ask my team to check. Not to worry, sweetheart. Okay? For every one of you, if I shared your story in my stories, if I shared your story in my stories, then your name should have been announced. If it was not announced, just write in to us. Let me know in my DM why was my name not announced, Pooja, and we'll make sure next week we have your name. Sometimes it can be a slip, especially because last week I was traveling. If we've slipped your name, we will make sure that we cover it up next week. Yes? God bless you. Yeah, if you tag me 100%, I'll share, yeah? Mansi is asking, Saubana, my sunshine goddess, just curious as you reply everyone's question week after week, what questions do you ask your mentors? Nice. What questions do I ask my mentors? I think I ask a lot of life balance questions on how to balance my life. Especially now post-COVID, there's so much work I do and then there's so much travel I do, and learning to balance that for me is one of my greatest challenges. Where to say no, how to stop, when to not burn out. All of that is learning for me, because my mission is so big, so massive, that I know I have to learn to grow who I am in the process of becoming who I want to become. So that's one of the questions I tend to ask. What else do I tend to ask? I'm just thinking. It all depends, Challenges keep coming up in life. Sometimes in work, sometimes with the children, sometimes in my relationship. I think till the time you're living and breathing, you're always going to have challenges. And different times I have different challenges. So it all depends. I can't say specifically like this is the question. This was something I recently asked in regard to how to balance my travel with my work life. And I got a beautiful answer from my coach telling me that, that just continue both. Don't give up one for the other, because whatever you will give up, you will miss it later on, because these both are important values for you. So how can you marry them best is going to be the journey that I have to decide to take. So yeah, that's pretty much what currently was the question I was asking my coach. Indu Jain, we'll definitely look it up why your name was not announced. For everybody here, if your name was not announced, we will make sure your name is announced next week. All you have to do is share my photo in your story and put your 1, 2 or 3 takeaways, yeah? Some of you do a fabulous job of creating stories. So proud of you. Rima Justin, how to attend Awakening. Awakening is going to be happening in July. In the meantime, we are doing what we call Coaching Mastery. If Coaching Mastery interests you, come for the masterclass. If Awakening interests you, under this video, there will be a section where Gunjan would have shared her phone number. So just make sure you send a message to Gunjan saying, I would love to attend Awakening whenever next it's happening. Just make a note that it's happening somewhere in July. Yeah? What is your favorite food or cuisine? I think Chinese. Chinese is by far my favorite. I love spicy food. Anything chili is attracts me a lot. So yeah, chaats. I think chaats I love and Chinese I love. So papudi chaat, golgappa, aloo chaat, all of those chaats I love. Anything masala is yummy for me. What is lifestyle as per you, Puja? Interesting, Millie. I think for me, Millie, lifestyle is when we get to joyfully do the things that we love doing in our life. So for some people, it could be cooking in the kitchen. For some people, it could be decorating their house. For some people, it could be traveling. The things that give you a joy, when you bring them into your life on a daily basis, that to me is a beautiful lifestyle. Some people love to entertain. So that every evening, if they do that, that's the lifestyle that they love. So no judgment on what's a good lifestyle, what's a bad lifestyle. For example, Puneet and I sleep by 8:30 because both of us wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So our lifestyle is very sadhu type of lifestyle according to me. Very different. It's far more retired than most people. So for somebody that will be like, what a boring couple. But for us, we absolutely love it. Like when we wake up at 4:30 in the morning, I light my candle, I do my morning routine. For me, that is heaven. Yeah. So I think looking out for what is important to you and then marrying your life to the things that matter, to me is the most essential way of designing your lifestyle. I don't know if this was your question, but I've given you a part of the answer. But if this is what you meant by lifestyle. Madhu Flair, Puja, is it okay to share our learnings even if we are not able to implement them some of the time? Yes and no, Madhu, because for me, I love authentic sharing. So anything that you're not able to do, whenever you share that, let the other person know. So whenever I share something that I am not doing, then I let the other person know that this is more Puneet. He's extremely forgiving as a person. I'm still working on it, but I love how he does it. So like that, you can give the credit to wherever you learnt that concept rather than owning it. You own it only when you do it. Yeah. How to become a life coach. Prachi, under this Insta Live, we are going to be sharing Gunjan's number. Today itself, I would love for you to go message Gunjan, and we are having something very exciting this weekend. Come for it if you can. It's a 2-day program called Coaching Mastery, And I can assure you, at the end of those 2 days, you will find yourself extremely competent to become a life coach. Yeah? Shweta, who is your coach, ma'am? I have many, Shweta. Because for me, in every sphere of my life that I want to grow, whether it's in health or wealth or career or self-development, I keep coaches. I feel like they can save you 2 to 3 years of experimenting just by having a coach. So I have like a, what do you call that? A council rather than coaches. I would say a council of people that I reach out to for different needs, different people. Delhi wala chulbuli taste you have. Yes, totally, Simani. You're absolutely right, actually. Gargi Arya, excited for CC. Super excited to have you there, sweetheart. Thanks for the response, Prachi. So do you help in getting ICF certification for life coaching? Absolutely not, Prachi. There are so many different ways of becoming coach. One is with me through my coaching certification. One is ICF, and then there are many other options. So you will have to see which is the best one for you. Different people get attracted to different kinds of certifications. Mine in specific is all to do with one-to-one coaching. I love training people in the content of what it is you can share, but all of that only happens after coaching mastery. My suggestion to you is give me 2 days, come for the class. If you like what you see, continue the journey. If not, ICF is also fabulous. Rather, all of these things, see, till the time our heart is good and we want to help people, all of the different methodologies are just the same path to the same different paths to the same help, right? We all want to help in this world. We want to make this world a better place. We want to contribute. We want to live a meaningful life and earn a good amount of money through that. Now, whether you do through ICF or you do it through different channels or you do it through me, all of those are good depending on who you feel most attracted to. Yeah? All right. It is 4:58. I have to run. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you another day. If you haven't yet taken my photo and decided to share, I'm going to ask you to do it right away. Everybody. Fabulous. All right. Now tell me your takeaways. I always love sharing that in my stories. Thank you so much. Love you all. Bye. Bye Megha. Bye Aparna. Bye Prachi. Bye Amali. Ritu, how to look at the camera when we are recording from mobile? I end up looking at myself only. Please help. Ritu, me too. So there is that small little dot that we are supposed to look at, but I also tend to look at myself a lot. So I totally understand that. I think practice would be the right answer for you. Just practice a lot, and over time you'll automatically start to speak to the camera rather than speaking to yourself. It happens over time. Here, though, I have to do a lot of reading, so I don't have a choice. But especially when I'm recording my videos, the first 2 videos I'll be looking at myself, and only by the 3rd video I'll remember, oh God, I'm supposed to look at that small hole on the corner. Bye everybody. Thank you for coming. Bye.